Okay, so freaking Dells. So we made a mistake. We fell for one of my own gotchas. So I'm gonna put a link up above somewhere on the screen for you. If you didn't watch the previous video about the three gotchas in Conan, we just fell for one of them. Welcome back. Today's gonna be a really good one, and apparently you guys are excited for this as well. Thank you for the amazing comments on the last week's video. Today we're gonna be tackling lock files and custom user settings. We're gonna be tackling upgrading and migrating our Conan 2.0 effort for the user management project. Hopefully I said those words correctly. And we got some really fun work ahead of us. So if we go and switch over to our little migration plan that we made last week, we can go and see we did our recipe updates, right? We updated from 151, 153, I think it was, to 2.0, and our recipe's compatible. We had tested that yesterday, and we made the changes to the presets that we knew were coming, which is fantastic. So today what we're going to be tackling is this lovely box over here, where we're going to be doing DevOps updates for the beginning, and we're going to start with lock files and user settings. So if we flip over to our terminal and we can go to our project, we're already in the correct branch where we were last week, which is fantastic. We'll CD into the backend. And our migration, so if I run this, so we're going to be running Conan Create today. We're going to do a version of 0. I haven't decided what versioning schematics we're going to be doing, so we're going to do that. User, we're going to actually specify a user for this one, and I'm going to pick UM is the project acronym that I use for this, so I think that makes sense. Profiles, same as last time. We're building still in WSL for Ubuntu 22, so we're going to be running with this. So this is going to take a hot moment. It takes quite a while to build, but I will be getting back to you shortly. So what we did not do correctly when we worked on our migration last time is we were only running Conan installed, and that command doesn't evaluate everything in our recipe. So what we just tripped into is, now that I ran Conan Create for the first time, we found some stuff that we missed. So we're going to have to pump the brakes on using lock files. We're going to have to take a step back, and we're going to have to fix this, because it makes no sense to continue moving forward if it's not going to work anyways, right? So we're gonna have to switch gears and take a break for this one. We're gonna pick our Conan release config, because that's what we're working on. And we're gonna start a new day. Open an editor, close all. I'll minimize this, and we're gonna start right with our confall.py. So if we look at our terminal and we look at our error message, self.copy, we don't have that attribute copy anymore. This is one of the migration changes that has occurred. So previously what you could do is you could do self.copy, and it would assume a bunch of stuff. And if you called copy this way in different methods, it would do different things. This made it really cumbersome if you wanted to copy specific files to specific folders, because you always had to change it and redo the work over again. So the new way is to use the files imports. So we already have files copy, and we're already using it in our exports method. So we can already see the syntax is copy self, and then we pass the pattern that we want to go in. So pattern, source folder, destination folder. So we're gonna just right away grab this, and we know we can change all of this to just be self-copy, replace all. Now that we're doing this, I can also notice a few other goodies. The deploy method is gone. This is deprecated in 2.0. This is replaced with the deployers feature. And we're just gonna go right ahead and delete this, because it doesn't exist, it's not gonna work, and that's fine. Next up, we have to pass all of our paths. So we're gonna do path join. Are we gonna do this? You see, these patterns copy a lot of stuff, and I'm not necessarily convinced they're correct. All right, so we're gonna take a pause. We're gonna go check what artifacts we're actually producing and what's actually in the package that we're uploading. So I will be right back with that. So if we take a look at what we have in our packages that we've been uploading in the past, so you can see this is commit 986, right? So right away, there's a couple things that stand out to me. We have a source method, source folder here. We shouldn't be packaging our source code. What we expect to have and what looks good is we have here our libs, our include, and our bin folder. This is the stuff that I'm expecting, right? So we can see here our schemas are being packed where they shouldn't be. So we're gonna change this so this isn't installed. We don't want build release either, but we do want all of our libraries to be installed, as well as our app, which is up here somewhere. So we have some bugs and we need to fix this in our package as well. So this is kind of the good thing about doing a migration and having pains like this is you go back and you double check yourself and you're like, oh shit, I screwed that up the first time. So let's fix it. VS Code right here. So if we scroll back down to the bottom, we want to copy our headers, but our source is going to be path.join, and we're going to do self.build folder. Actually, let's just copy from the source because we want the unmodified files, and we're going to do include. So only the files in our source include directory, which is going to be this one, should get copied over. So that should fix that problem. So we won't have all those extra header files. What else did we have that was a problem? So the only thing in the source folder was header files, so that's good. So that actually fixes everything, which is even better. So all we need to do is fix up a few of these. So here our destination is going to be the same, except we have to change it to explicitly say package folder. So we'll do that right here, package folder. Now I'm going to fix up the rest of these to be the exact same, and I'll be right back. So as I'm going through this, I stopped on this line and I noticed we are copying all of the libraries. So we can see them all here. However, we're only listing in our package info the user management one, which is a little bit surprising because this should match the contents of this here, and it doesn't. So we're going to check our build folder, and we are going to look at source, not there. We have API, it's not there. Must be source. Database, not there. Is there no user management lib? There isn't. Wow, that's even better. So perfect. Perfect. So if we go and check our cmake list.txt, we're finding problems. So we have here user management without any sources, right? User management only has a single header file. This is a header only definition that we're including in packaging. So does that even make sense, right? Like, do we want to do that? Maybe not. But for now, I guess we're just going to leave it. So we don't actually have any libs. So we can actually get rid of this. We don't need to package any of these. And all we're going to be doing is saving our database app into the bin folder. So I didn't actually write what I needed to write for any of the others. So we're going to grab source include. We're going to stick that here. We're going to do build folder. Now this is going to be in our, there should only be one of these, so we should be safe. And this is going to go to a destination. It's going to be our package folder into the bin. And we're picking bin because this is the default location for the layout that we're using as well. Keep path false. So this is going to be in a subdirectory. We don't want that, so we're going to ask Conan to politely remove that for us. And this should give us a better result. If we look at our diff so far, what have we done? We trimmed our package method quite a bit. So we were incorrectly packaging all these things. We had bad package info. We even had a bad deploy method. So we're making progress in the direction we wanted, maybe not. So if we run our Conan create one more time, this time hopefully we'll have success and it'll package things correctly. And then we can double check what was actually put into our package and continue on from there. All right, awesome. So it actually packaged it and did mostly what I was expecting. So it only packaged one file accordingly. So if we go into our cache, which we can see we got the path to over here, we can go check what it did in output. So user, this one. User PB. We don't have a PB. All right, so what we can do is Conan cache path folder equals build, and then we can stick our reference here. What if I just do an ls of this? Will this get us closer to what we want? Yes. All right, so as the output told us, there is no binary, which is unfortunate because that's what we were going for, right? So if we go and we output the contents of our build folder here, right, we do see our source folder, and under source we do have our user database app. So instead of relying on copying like this, right, which takes a pattern, it's because we had here source include. This should be source. Shucks, we made a small mistake. All right, we're gonna run this again. One more time. Hopefully we get it. We'll check back in. Alrighty. So I think we got it. So we packaged two files. So this is absolutely fantastic. So if we go and just double check, sanity check ourselves and just yoink this path over here, we can do ls quote paste, and we can see we now have include as well as bin. And if we check what's in our bin folder, we have our user database app. This is perfect. This means we actually have everything packaged. All right, so there is one last thing that I would like to look into. We have some new features in Conan 2.0 that we can take care of. We have the binary model improvements to Conan 2.0, and there's one in particular that I think we could really use now, and that is our package type. So by default, Conan tries to guess the best package ID mode for your recipe. And if you're doing a library to library or static library to static library, you're going to expect the ABI to be impacted differently when you change your dependencies. So because we're now corrected our package to make sure that only the items are in it that we expect, and the only thing we really need out of that is our user database app. And this app is an application. And if we look at our package type, there is a nifty one called application. And that's what we should probably be going to. So if we switch back to VS Code, we can go and we can add that in right above our settings. So we can make sure when we're changing our dependencies and revving them, for instance, if here we have Restinio, if this became 16, Conan knows that that minor bump would impact our ABI, and it can better calculate our package ID, which is a huge advantage to be having. So I'm going to test this quickly one more time. This is going to take a while, and when it's done, I will be right back. So today didn't go according to the way we planned it. So we wanted to work on, if we flip back over to our diagram, we were supposed to work on lock files and new settings. Unfortunately for us, that just didn't happen. So we missed some important steps during our migration. That consistently being we ran the wrong commands, right? So we only tested half of our workflow. We tested our local developer flow by doing Conan install, but that didn't encompass what we needed to test in Conan, in our CI with Conan create. This is an oversight that I made, and it kind of bit us, so we had to take a bit of a detour today. Along the way, we realized our package that we were making was probably incorrect this whole time in Conan 1.x, and we only had like 986 builds done, and every single one of those had been bad. So with that in mind, we now have a correct package that's going to work in 2.0. So that's a bonus. We improved our binary model with our new package type for application, and we still have the same working on lock files next time. So I really appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, please drop it a like, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments. If you have any complaints, Twitter and Reddit is a fantastic place. If you haven't watched the threads on Reddit, you'll see me working there all the time. And thank you very much. Cheers.